Most people think love is something you chase, something you earn, that you have to prove you're worthy, be chosen, or wait until you're good enough. I used to believe that too. I thought if I just looked better, texted the right way, gave enough, or played it cool, they'd finally want me. But none of that worked. All it did was pull me further from myself. I lost sleep waiting on a reply. I stopped eating when they pulled away. I'd reread texts trying to decode what I did wrong. I'd see them active online and wonder why I wasn't enough. That's not love. That's fear, wearing a disguise. I was trying to manifest someone from a place of emptiness, of lack, of not feeling chosen. I was trying to fix what I believed was broken in me by making them choose me. But that's when I found Neville Goddard. He said something that cracked my whole world open. You are the operant power, not your specific person, not the 3D, not the timeline you're currently living. You. He taught that the world is not happening to you, it's happening through you. That what you experience is simply a reflection of what you assume to be true about yourself. Your assumptions are what shape your reality, not your effort, not your obsession, not your pain. And that's when everything changed. I realized I had been assuming I was unloved. I had been assuming I wasn't enough. So the world gave me evidence to match. I kept getting ignored, ghosted, breadcrumbed. Not because I was unworthy, but because I kept believing I was. So I stopped trying to make them come back, and I started changing what I believed about myself. Every morning, I imagined waking up with love already in my life. I'd smile as if they were already beside me. I'd play songs that reminded me of us, not to feel sad, but to feel grateful, because in my mind, we were already together. Neville called this living in the end. It means you no longer hope it's done. You no longer chase, you attract. You don't wait for the text to believe you're loved. You assume you're loved, and the text follows. Neville wasn't the first to speak this truth. The Bible has been whispering it to us all along. Mark 11:24 says, I tell you, you can pray for anything, and if you believe that you've received it, it will be yours. That's not a metaphor. That's the formula. Believe that you already have it, and it becomes yours. Not after you prove yourself. Not after you beg. Now it's the exact same principle Neville taught. Live in the end. Feel the wish fulfilled. Move through your day as if the prayer has already been answered. Because when your belief and your imagination align, the world must shift. But maybe you're wondering, what if I'm still scared? What if I still feel unworthy? That's when we go deeper. Because Matthew 6:33 says, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So what's the kingdom? Where is it? Neville answered that too. He said the kingdom is within you, not out there, not in another person, not in the perfect text or the perfect timeline. It's already inside you. When you connect to that inner stillness, when you stop striving and start aligning, everything else is added. The love, the peace, the person, all of it. And if you've ever doubted your power, let this last one sink into your soul. 1 Corinthians 3:16 says, do you not know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? That means you're not separate from the divine. You're not powerless. You're not forgotten. You are the vessel. You are the channel. And the same power that created galaxies lives inside you. So stop outsourcing your worth. Stop chasing love like it's outside of you. It's not. It's in you. And when you believe that, when you embody it, reality bends to match. I imagined dinners where we laughed about nothing. I visualized their hand in mine. I fell asleep feeling their energy wrapped around me. Not once did I say, please come back. I simply whispered, thank you for never leaving. And here's the twist. I started feeling better, not because they came back yet, but because I had finally come home to myself. The more I assumed I was loved, the more the world reflected it. People held doors open. Friends told me I looked different, lighter, more confident. Old flings resurfaced. Compliments came in. I stopped checking my phone every 5 minutes. I stopped watching their story like it was a lifeline. I started living, and then they reached out of nowhere. The same person I thought I had to chase, the same one I thought had to pick me. They came back, and this time, the energy was different. They didn't come back to the old me. They came back to the version of me that knew they were worthy of love, regardless of who gives it. Neville taught that assumptions harden into fact. It's not instant. There will be moments when it looks like nothing's changing, but those are the moments that define you. Can you hold the vision when your 3D is silent? Can you trust what's unfolding, even when nothing shows? That's the test. Most people give up too early. They look at the 3D and say, see, it's not working. But your job isn't to chase results. Your job is to persist in the state of the wish fulfilled. So I did. And even before they came back, I had already won, because I finally knew who I was. I was the one who loves without fear, who receives without begging, who doesn't abandon themselves for someone else's approval. Let me give you something practical. Say this every day, not just as affirmations, but as truth. I am loved deeply, fully, and freely. I don't chase love. I remember that I am love. My person feels drawn to me because I'm aligned with the version of me that's already chosen. I trust divine timing because I already live in the end. Feel it. Walk with it. Make decisions as if you're already in the relationship you desire. How would you carry yourself? What would you no longer tolerate? What would you celebrate? I started smiling at my reflection. I wore cologne like I was going on a date even if I wasn't. I danced while cooking dinner for one, not because I was trying to attract someone, but because I was becoming someone. Someone I actually liked, and when they returned, it was confirmation, not validation. They weren't my missing piece. I was already whole. And that's the point of all of this. You don't manifest love by needing it. You manifest love by remembering you already are it. So let them come, or let someone better show up. You don't need to chase. You just need to choose yourself so powerfully that everyone else does too. Neville said, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. So become the version of you who's already chosen, already seen, already enough, and watch the world catch up to your new reality, because that version of you, they already have everything you've been asking for. But let me be real with you. There were days I didn't feel strong. Days when I almost sent that long paragraph. Days when I almost stalked their page again. Days when the silence felt louder than a goodbye. I'd wake up with that ache in my chest and think, what if they're with someone else? What if they never come back? What if I'm just delusional? But that's when I remembered, this is exactly what Neville meant. Remain faithful to your assumption, even when everything denies it. So instead of spiraling, I went deeper. I stopped reacting to their absence and started celebrating my presence. I'd walk into my room and say, welcome home, love. I'd cook meals and set an extra plate even if it stayed empty. I'd sit on the couch and pretend their legs were across mine. And it wasn't fantasy, it was foundation. Because my imagination wasn't lying to me, it was showing me what I was aligning with. Let me paint this for you. You wake up, it's sunny, there's a mug on the nightstand. They left it there last night. You stretch, and they roll over and kiss your shoulder. Good morning, babe. You smile. You've had this moment in your mind 100 times, but this time, it's not imagined. It's here, and it feels familiar, because you already lived it. That's what it means to manifest. You experience it internally first. So when it shows up in the 3D, it's not a shock, it's just a delivery. And listen, sometimes your specific person doesn't come back. Sometimes someone better does. But either way, you still win, because the goal was never them. The goal was to become the version of you that never begs to be chosen again. You are not chasing love. You are calibrating to the frequency where love is inevitable. So keep the vision, feel the scene, act from the end. Because you're not manifesting a person, you're manifesting a life. And in that life, you are never ignored. You are never abandoned. You are seen, heard, desired, and fully loved. If this story touched you, helped you, or reminded you of your power, don't let it be the last one. Subscribe for more stories, lessons, and manifestations rooted in faith, imagination, and truth. Because your dream life isn't far away, it's just one assumption away, and you're already on your way there.